All right. And we are live. We are live, baby. Back in that action. Yes. Great to see everybody today, or tonight, rather. Whatever time of day it may be, wherever you're at. But welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show for another evening special. We're going to try to get into doing these a little earlier, but just trying to get in the swing of it and at least keep a little consistency here. Life has been so crazy. But definitely good crazy. So as we grow, we hope you guys grow with us also. And don't be afraid to like and subscribe to the channel, share, tell your friends about us. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and we'll roll it like that. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Now, a few things we're going to dive into today. These things, what's really going on in the world right now? So we're gonna go with a few current events today. Let's go with what's really around us at this time and space and place, and what's really going on. So I'm not sure if you're aware or if you've heard, but there was a mass deleting of about 47 million or so emails from a very prominent financial company. Now, I'm not going to name them, PJ, just because, we don't want to get displaced from the channel, or we don't want this video deleted because that has been a challenge previously. So we don't want our channel suspended. So anywho, just want to say though, obviously, that there are things going on right in front of our faces here that we either need to be aware of, or that may be information overloading us that we're not even able to grab a hold of, or we haven't even heard of because it's not in like our algorithmic set that we're getting fed right now. So 47 million emails have been deleted, and there were at least 12 or more cases that had been subpoenaed, and well, they were that people had been subpoenaed on and were being investigated. Now, interesting how all of those emails just mysteriously disappeared. And for this financial company that's so financially strong and independent, it just strikes me as odd that they wouldn't have some type of backup system, or, some kind of cloud, or, secondary, tertiary, even, I mean, that's just odd that they wouldn't have some sort of backup to be able to validate this information, especially being that, people were actually being investigated and subpoenaed on some of these this information that these emails contained. So, or about some of this information that these emails contained. So, what ended up happening was the SEC, the seconds, just 1 second, guys. But yes, the financial securities overseers, what they did was take a look at it, and they said, you know what, you guys weren't supposed to leave these records. I know it was an accident per se, but we're gonna fine you $4 million. $4 million. These people probably blinked that like in a second.
That's a slap on the wrist.
It's nothing. It's nothing at all. You know what I mean? So just what are we? What's really going on right now? All right. What's deeper? Behind the scenes, under the scenes, above the scenes. What's around the scene? You know what I mean?
Yeah, these things been going on for years, man. These people they've been doing this for years, or tried to do it for years.
They have been doing it for
Since the
years.
70s,
They've been doing it for years.
The 80s, the 70s.
It's just now people are getting in a position to be able to say something about it, or even be able to publicize it or expose it per se at this in this degree, in magnitude, because information is spreading a lot faster than it did years ago, even 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So it's just, as information grows and as we grow as intelligent beings and people, and moving forward through this space and time, it's just imperative that we also pay attention to what's going on and what we're exposed to, because again, it just seems very interesting that would be something that happened. And just to mention, also, it didn't happen recently. That's another thing. It happened like back in 2019.
Yeah.
but it's just coming into our awareness in space here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on, but I know everybody knows what's going on with Silicon Valley, and the banking industry.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff is going on right now. Pay attention. All right, just pay attention, look around, and it's time to kind of realize what it is we're navigating through. Okay, because there's no way that you can successfully navigate a ship without knowing um, what it is or the destination that you're trying to get to and how to moor there, how to get there, okay, safely. So, so you don't get caught up in any rocks or anything like that. You get sand dunes, or not sand dunes, sandbars. Sorry, not in the desert, but
Or hit the iceberg.
yeah, definitely don't want any of that. So just keeping that in mind, there's a lot going on. So also speaking of that with financial things, another thing that I heard that I thought was real interesting, y'all. So I was on the way, I just dropped my son off at camp, and I'm on the way to work, and this commercial comes on. Sometimes commercials come on based on where you are, like locationing, who you may be by, whatever. So this commercial came on that I've never heard before and never been exposed to, but about cryos eggs, like freezing eggs, women's eggs and whatnot. Now that's not a new concept, I obviously know, but the new piece for me was what they decided to offer. Okay, so you know how guys
behind it.
It's the hustle, but it's like, okay, so you know how guys go to the sperm bank and they do whatever they do and they give them a few dollars, right? So in this particular commercial for these particular eggs, now again, the eggs, they have to be approved and they're looking for, certain type of eggs or whatnot. So um, in this particular commercial though, they were offering up to like $5,000 for like these special eggs. And so now it wasn't just like, healthy, you this, you that. It almost seemed like they were looking for something in particular, like a certain type of blood type or, some supernatural, like, I don't know. But I'm like, interesting. So, if you're interested in that, that was something that I heard. I believe it was Cryos International or something like that. You guys can look it up. They're out there. They're advertising. They're looking for people that are looking for them. So I'm not sure how that ended up on my stream because we good over here. But yeah, very interesting though. And I'm like, $5,000. Who is offering that kind of money? First of all, who is offering that kind of money for these eggs? And it's like, okay, interesting.
The people that need it, I guess.
I mean, what are they going? Okay, so like, it almost makes you think like, okay, they're sourcing and fielding all of these eggs. This company's getting eggs, right? For what is there like a future colony that's coming? Are they building for like, like I don't. I mean, are they like creating people somewhere else? Like, I don't know. Are they on another planet? Like, what are we doing here? I don't. Again, this is all fun and dandy here. Just a little outwardly thinking and whatnot, a little fun in the action. But so if that is something you're interested in, that is an option. But just be cognizant, guys. Don't give your genetic material away out here. Your DNA, don't just be giving it away to anybody for any old thing, and especially not for $5,000. I feel like if somebody would pay you that much money for your eggs, it's probably worth a lot more than that. So just be careful out here, okay? And things come into your awareness, pay attention to them. Just as strange as that was, it could have just went in one ear and out the other, but it was so odd. Like, I'm like, where did this come from? I've never heard a commercial this like bold. But of course, and I'm like, what? It was like trying to go off, and I'm like, no, let me try to get a snapshot or something. So anyway, those options are out there, guys, and they're going to continue to be there. Also, I'm not sure. One of our actually videos that did get deleted, that almost got our channel suspended, almost, that might have been a year or two ago now for that one. But it happens. So anyway, there was this particular show that my husband and I went to. Shout out to the comedians out there doing their thing. But we went to this particular show, and it was like a World War III show or whatnot. And so we posted a clip about this asteroid, this quadrillion-dollar asteroid, this money-making asteroid that had apparently come into the scope of awareness of people.
Golden
And
opportunity.
yes, and so evidently that one got removed, and then the second one got removed, and then they tried to suspend our channel. Well, they did, and then they told us that if we did anything else, that it would be shut down and couldn't be reopened. The case could be sealed, and I'm like, no, we don't want that. So we decided to not post for a while, just to let get over that hump, because it was like real touch and go at that time, at one point in time here. So anyway, um rewinding back, so we did post a video similar to that, just to mention that before going into this next clip here. Well, we can't go into a clip, it's alive, but what I can go into is this next article about this quadrillion-dollar asteroid that evidently SpaceX and NASA are partnering to go and explore. So they said that there's nothing there, according to the article that I read, other than it's just gold and like iron ore and some other base metal, but nothing spectacular, nothing to see. They're just going to have less than 100 days to make it up there and take a look and explore around on this asteroid and whatever.
What is the survival rate on that though? Like, is it?
I don't think they're sending people. I think they're probably sending robotics, something like that. But
what they gonna do? Trying to stop it? Send somebody to land on it and harvest it? How they gonna get the gold or the numerals that's in there? You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. And I was thinking about that too. And maybe they plan to
Land it on Earth. Yeah, I think that's probably what they're trying to do. Land it on Earth.
See, no, the challenge would be with that is, okay, so if you were gonna get it back though, if you were gonna get it back practically, like, okay, either you would have to take, tons, like a huge amount of spacecraft up there to bring all of this back, or maybe you're not looking to bring it all back. Maybe there's something way more valuable than that, and you only need a little piece. Who knows?
Probably.
Maybe you don't need that much,
So who gonna own it though?
or maybe they decide, hey, we know how to teleport stuff now. Oh, there was actually another article in there about teleportation and the strides we've made with that. But anyway, so maybe they're gonna teleport it back into some like secret underground base. Who knows what they're gonna do with this thing? Who knows? Who knows? Or just a piece.
Who's gonna own it?
And
the
I
whole
mean,
globe?
I
Everybody
doubt
can go get a piece.
I doubt they
If
are
you
the
can
only
get-
ones
if you can
even
get
exploring. And that was my thing. I doubt they're even the only ones exploring it. I guarantee you the European Space Agency, the Japanese, Chinese Space Agency, every other Australian, every agency out there is probably doing the exact same thing. So this is going to be interesting, but it's just such a special time that this
You think
article
that probably
surfaced
really
itself on Friday, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I'm like, we almost got canceled for this.
You think they're gonna be fighting over that though? Like,
I mean, fighting. I don't know. I don't
World
know.
War III for real.
Fighting over it, you would have to have the resources to get there. That's the thing. So some people do. Some of the
Elite
upper echelons,
big countries.
What you used to call them, the higher ups.
The higher ups.
I can't stand that
The
term.
higher ups.
Those
the people with the big aircrafts, spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have those to go on space.
Yes.
Well, what if when they get there, there's people that live on this asteroid and it's a whole planet itself, that's going around, and then
anything is possible.
Because I think any little mistake that they made that can really like measure the Earth.
Well, of course, because like, what if they're like, all right, we're just gonna bring this some back, and maybe we got like a big bucket or something like that. Like, what if stuff falling out the sky?
That's what I'm saying.
So again, I feel like
Gold.
Not that I think they're smarter than that, but I do give them precedence or lend them credence to the fact that I think they know enough to know that would not be the safest nor the most effective way, because you probably lose a lot too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless you have some kind of tracking device or something like that. Like, if it's over the ocean, which is the safest, then retrieval depending on how deep the ocean is and the parts that you're in, could be difficult.
But
or it maybe not. You know, they got
it's
some of
real
these
big
crafts,
though.
underwater craft also. So who knows?
It's real big. It's a big asteroid. It's
Yeah, it's
not like
real
a,
big.
you know what I mean? It's not like some little small rocks, you know what I mean, floating on the air, you know.
Correct.
So
It's pretty big.
I mean, I feel like it's a robbery.
It's definitely a robbery. I definitely agree with that.
These people going on space, you know, robbing the universe from, you know, what the universe have. You know, like I mean,
People have been stealing resources
when we're
from the
gonna stop
earth.
stealing from the earth?
Well, you got to give something back. See, it's called exchange.
I mean, what they give into the earth?
Problems.
Because they've been destroying the earth
Problems.
like for centuries, you know.
So, article: an asteroid loaded with 10 quintillion worth of metals edges closer to the U.S. Y'all see that? If you can. So, this is interesting because now it's here. NASA says it's under 100 days away from launching a spacecraft to study a valuable asteroid. The asteroid is thought to be made up of 10 quintillion worth of gold, iron, and nickel.
Nickel?
That's what they say.
What nickel?
Nickel.
Dime, nickel.
No, nickel, yes. Well, that's what original nickels used to be made out of, the metal nickel. But it's not quite as strong as.
I mean, how the nickel got up there?
Well, nickel is a natural earth metal. So it's an element. It's a naturally occurring element. I mean, it's in our bodies too. Like, nickel. Okay. Yeah, no. It's a naturally occurring metal. So it's like a gold or iron or something like that. Yeah, it's a naturally occurring nickel. I mean, naturally occurring metal. But SpaceX rocket is set to launch the spacecraft to the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Tuesday, or NASA announced Tuesday that it was under 100 days away from launching a spacecraft designed to study an asteroid potentially worth this $10 quintillion.
$10 quintillion, how much that is?
It's a lot of zeros, y'all.
I mean, before that, I didn't.
That's a lot of zeros.
From that number before.
That's a lot of zeros. The 173-mile wide asteroid is known as 16 Psyche.
The Psyche.
Now that's quite a name, isn't it?
Psyche, huh?
The Psyche, 16 Psyche. Interesting. And thought to be made up of gold, iron, and nickel. So, okay. So, we're less than 100 days away to where these people,
they're going to launch,
and agencies are concerting an effort together to get there and explore, I suppose.
Yeah, they were trying last year, right? They tried last year, and I think they didn't know how far it was, probably. So they didn't know how they gonna get there, like how long it was gonna take or something like that.
They're probably still working out projections. I think it just came into their awareness within the last year or two. So maybe two or so years, and maybe even longer. Maybe they knew it was coming, with their long range telescopes. But maybe James Webb told them.
There's so much going on, though.
It's a lot going on.
Be successful, though.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. So, yeah, that's another thing just to be aware of here, guys. And I guess it's something fun and interesting.
I hope ghosts start falling from the sky.
Wouldn't that be? Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Dropping in my house.
Oh my! Well, no, I don't want it falling from the sky. Dropping in my house, you'll be crushed.
Behind my house.
Yeah, you drop around somewhere over there. Yeah, create a golden stream or something like that for me. You know what I mean? I can do that.
It don't have to be big gold.
Oh no, I'll take big nuggets, just not on the house. I don't.
Yeah, not on the house, but behind the house.
Yes.
In the backyard.
Around.
Somewhere,
Yeah, you can even make it come up from our yard. You know what I mean? If there's some kind of attraction that this asteroid is bringing, like, yo, bring it up.
We need some of these.
We're here for that. Okay, I'm here for that. So
give me my piece of the cake.
There we go. That's it. So yeah, lot going on.
That's
here.
a lot of we'll tell you.
Yeah, it's a lot of zeros. That's a lot of zeros. Whole bunch of zeros. And then there's the whole thing with like the writers and the actors. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
Striking in Hollywood right now.
Yes.
So, how much money do you have to be missing when the millionaires are like, These millions ain't enough.
Yeah,
Not enough. Can't make it work. We know y'all making quintillion tillions over there, and we want some. You know what I mean? Like when you see, we're at a very pivotal point in time right now. We are at an interesting point in time because we are shifting. There's a shift going on, and we all know that because we know the planetary alignments have been moving since 2020 and before, really. Go back to 2012 or even prior to that. If you want to go to 1999, 2000, so many different pivotal shifting points for our space-time dimension and our brains that kind of conceptualize this reality a certain way.
yeah.
So what's really going on again, to where, and I guess I've listened to some of the arguments, or some of the grievances rather, I'm sorry, from some of the actors or actresses about pay cuts or this, that, and the other, and feeling like their artistry is being devalued, and they're not getting the same pay as they would have back in the day. Like
Netflix.
and that's what they're complaining about. Streaming is an issue. They're not getting royalties. It's almost like a one hit quitter, one hit and done. And then people used to actually get royalties off of different episodes, I guess, different syndicated shows that they may have had, because those things were running for seasons and seasons and whatnot.
Now there's
So
so many stuff out there. Like, you know
oversaturation.
what I mean? I mean, they pay people like a little bit of money to, just do some shows, and it's so much like they're over, like, you know what I mean, overflowing, like, with all these shows, and some of them are boring anyway, and then they're not making no money.
Well, it's not even easy to shift through them sift through them. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. It's not even easy to sift through them because it's information overload. There's so
Yeah.
much, and there's so like it's like a needle in a haystack. You got to look at this thing to find out if you like this. Some things have trailers, some things don't. Some things you like or agree with, what you would normally be entertained with. Some of them wouldn't. So it's just like it's a lot of time wasting.
And plus, like,
So
how the streaming thing goes, like, of course it will kill like a lot of people's career, because I mean, the shows, like, they come, you say a series 5 season. There's shows right now you can just go and watch the whole 5 season in one day. You get it. Now I mean, like, say like a TV show like the Cosby Show, you know what I mean, and some other shows that was on TV, like they come like, every Thursday or every Friday, you know what I'm saying? So those shows had the chance to go, and then the people
grow their audience, build a
yes,
relationship
yes.
with their audience. Absolutely.
So nowadays, you know what I
Grow
mean?
with it. Yep, really grow with their audience.
There's no audience. Everybody's
Distracted.
audience, you know what
5 seconds,
I'm saying?
short
Yeah.
attention span audiences.
Yes.
Well, so what I think it's doing is it's kind of closing in the pool of the quote unquote best said actors or not, or actresses. Like, all right, so you consider your big names, you know what I mean? Let's say your Morgan Freemans, you know what I mean? Your bigger names. And then you consider like smaller names from people that may still just be getting their start, like maybe some of the actors or actresses on like The Shy or something like that, something a little more.
They're always casting.
Yeah.
For new actors. And
But something that people identify with and that people are definitely watching. And I mean, I think that what their challenge is going to be is, yeah, because right now there are a lot of number ones or A-listers per se. That's going to probably disappear. Everybody's not going to be able to be an A-lister and make that kind of money because not everybody's getting that kind of showtime. If you see what I'm saying, it's like versus almost it's going to be like a franchise player. That's what I can make that synonymous to. It's almost gonna be like a franchise player. Like it's only gonna be so many people that are getting shown everywhere at this point. It's not gonna be so much exposure like it used to be. You know what I mean? TV is changing.
So
the world is changing.
Not
production is changing. Broadcast is changing.
Yeah, not enough quality of product coming out on like far as Hollywood.
Absolutely. And another thing they were saying was like AI. Yeah. And they were mentioning like free platforms, even like YouTube, like we're on right now. People can watch things for free now. So again, yeah, it is going to change. So I mean, I don't know if you can be upset about that as much as you can find another avenue to be artistically creative in, because that was kind of like the argument I heard as far as our that was what I heard. Yes, the dialogue was pretty much, they just don't want to miss out on, first off, the money. Of course, it's definitely the money, but the exposure, the opportunities, as far as how old school television and broadcasting used to be set up, where just like you mentioned, you might have a day that you're on primetime TV, and or daytime, doesn't matter, but you might have that slot, that so set slot, and then you might have other let's say episodes and seasons or whatnot that come after that one, right? But now it's just kind of like, well, let's try this out, and if people like it, good, and if they don't,
we don't bring it back. No.
right. And then sometimes, like, I even think that some things that they put out there, they're really good, and people watch them, and you expect the second season, and it's like, nope, that too much for the people. Nope, bring it back in. Like, nope, they liked it too much. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know what's really going on. If it's a gauging of information, maybe this is like, again, we are living in the intelligent AI, artificial, age, space age we're moving into. So it's just a lot of different things, a lot of different pieces to kind of moving parts to put together, because there seems to be, I mean, okay, so let's take another step back. So they're on strike, meaning they're not going to work, right? Now, at the level of profession that they have, they can afford to do that. Now, the rest of us would love to go on strike. I mean, I'm going to say that people who work at Walmart, people who working at wherever that don't get paid enough, period, would love to go on strike. So where is the people's
Some people can't
organization?
Some people can't even afford to take a day off if they don't. You know what I mean? If it's not, some people go do overtime. Is you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
regular people can afford this. Say I'm going on strike. I mean, even if you do, you're going right back to Walmart or McDonald's or whatever you were striking at.
But they have a union
Probably,
that's protecting them. Where's the people's union? That's my question. Where's the people's union? Because it's interesting that a lot of these problems, that people are having on different levels of life, that they're not able to maintain or sustain those levels. And not that I don't think that that's a problem. I do think that, if you are making a certain amount of money, that you should protect your investments, and you should be allowed to do so. Not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that if you do make money a certain way and that industry decides to change, then you have to change with it at certain points, especially when you are making a different proportion to over probably 70 to 80% of the American population. So when you already talking about a unbalanced, uh, proportion of income, um, I mean, what can we say? It's not like even doctors, like, they get paid more than doctors, and this is for. I'm an artist, so I do appreciate art, and I do think that acting is a very respectable profession. However, um, I do also think that there can become a limit where the value for things may be a bit out of whack, is the easiest way I can say that. We value actors and actresses. Everybody loves entertainment. But are there things or people that I personally feel should probably make more money than actors? Absolutely. People that are out here really saving lives. And I'm not talking about your doctors that just went to doctorate school to, or med school to get their doctorate degree so they can tout that around, and they kind of do an okay job, and they just take whatever the books are handed down to them, and they don't do any personal research or any homeopathic research or anything like that. If they're just pill pushing because that's what this company or that company pays them to do, and this surgery, that surgery, because they get this amount of money from it and that amount of money. Not those, but I mean people that really care about their profession, people that would do it for free, people that love what they do, and they would do it just because they know how to, because they have the knowledge to do it. Those are the people that deserve that kind of money.
The people that tell you which lift to go to get from the woods.
That person.
From the, I mean,
these are the kind of people. See, and this why, again, like teachers, I know there's a big argument always about teachers don't make enough, and they're spending time all day, and not all teachers are passionate, but there are a few that I've crossed in my lifetime that I would definitely like to see them get paid like one of these big stars would. You know what I mean? Like, they're out here doing the work. They're out here making sure people are learning, not just hoping they learn or passing them just because mommy and daddy have enough money to write that check. They're not doing that. They're actually making sure you understand the information. There's a difference there. There's a difference when you have a passion for what you do versus just doing it. So and this is why I say, like, I mean, I'm sure these people are very passionate, but again, what value is it bringing? And it can bring a lot of value. I mean, that's why I'm not saying that it's a bad profession. I'm just saying that I'm not really, I'm not crying over a millionaire that can't make $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's people over here.
The pocket is hurting right now, and they feel like
they understand life is about to change. It's about to get real.
A lot of people that's getting opportunities away from them. When they was, going to ask for a whole lot of money to do a movie or to do a show. Now, any bojo can come audition and get that position.
Yep.
And get paid, the little bit of money that.
And they can pay them less.
Netflix gonna give them or whatever.
Or they can do AI, like the lady was saying earlier. She's like, AI is a huge threat also. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the movie industry. I feel like it's just like the workplace, just like Walmart replacing they cashiers with robots and stuff with the self checkout.
Everything
and stuff
is getting
like that. It's just like acting
automated.
I mean, if you can have a robot play Denzel Washington, you won't pay Denzel all that money.
Not at all.
To play that role.
You can AI generate him right on the screen, computer graphic him. Yeah.
So, and you got.
Or somebody that looked just like him. But it's not him. The game gets real dicey now when we talk about art, because this is art still. So, I mean, it's a tough cookie. You know what I mean? I'm glad they got a union, and, hope everything works out for the best. Definitely. Respect to everybody that's out there trying to make moves in the world, whether you're an actor, actress, struggling actor, big name, little name, no name. Whoever you are, you know what I mean? Whatever industry it may be in, not even actors. Shout out to everybody out here pursuing their dreams and going after what they love and doing what it is that makes them happy, because that's what gives you longevity in life, doing what it is that makes you happy, things that you can smile about every day. Yeah. So, these things are interesting, though, again, that this is the time that they're raising that concern. So what's really going on that this is the time right now when all of this other stuff is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, banks are in crisis. Money is moving. Russia and China are talking. And
destructions everywhere. I mean, it's, they got to bring those destructions regardless of how it is. If it's, Hollywood is a whole hoax itself, like a destruction itself. I mean, those people that crying over they're not getting paid for them shows, they nothing but destructions, or people that they put in place to destruct the masses. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't care. I don't go watch TV no more. I remember when I was younger, I'd go pay $7 for a movie. Now I know it's 11 or 12, probably $18, $20.
Yeah.
But who cares about a movie, man? I don't care.
Well, movies are good. I think they're good, and especially if there are good ones, like
True Events.
Lean on Me. You know what I mean? Like, there are good movies out there. There are a lot of good movies.
Based on a true story, I understand, but this, entertainment, whatever it is nowadays.
Entertainment
right now.
I think you hit it on the head, though. You just said, as far as all of these distractions out here that they're pushing, and the distractions are destructive, and that may be why it's just like, hey, well, it's time for that to end anyway. You know what I mean? If you're gonna cry about not making people not see what's really going on, then hey, whoa on you. this might be an opportunity for you to go into another industry and start your own thing at home industry. How about that?
Learn some degree, get some degree on something, man. If you had another something else you could do, you ain't worried about somebody else who fired you.
Yeah.
So, or who don't want to pay you, you'll go work for somebody else if work is what you're looking for. Well, there's other companies who's hiring.
Now you realize how small the industry is. It's not. It's a small industry. People
find something. That's why I say if they had something else they know how to do, other than acting. I mean, they won't be out there. They were like, okay, well, y'all don't want to pay me. What about I go do this and that and get my money?
Another way.
When you or can only way,
acting
do
just
one
for
thing,
something or somebody else, or doing your own thing. Again, nowadays we have the platforms. If you're an artist or an actress or whatever, like you have a little leverage. All you got to do is stream. Boop, on your go ahead, go live. Like you know what I mean?
Have the people.
You already have the platform. Put something together, 2 or 3. But maybe that's the thing. People have been selected for certain reasons because maybe they can't put 2 and 2 together. Maybe they can't get the cameraman and the angles and the directions, and maybe they can't get all of that. So maybe that's why they're able to finagle. I don't know. But yeah, best of luck to all everybody that's in that industry, everybody that's doing the right thing in that industry. Definitely the best of luck to y'all. Otherwise, hey, let happen what may happen. And as we all out here trying to shift around and make money in new ways and different ways, and really find ways to stay sane.
And when they get to the asteroid, we don't have no money problem. It's gold gonna be falling from the sky, y'all. From gold minerals, whatever they going out there looking for.
All right, so y'all wait on that. But
I mean, they say it's they have so many stuff on it that's that could cover the whole world economy. So hopefully they resolve.
Wouldn't that be so beautiful if we had a global economy that not if we had a global economy, but if we had a global economy that huge piece there. Don't forget that part. That took into consideration that piece. And if there was something that could benefit the entire globe at that kind of rate and standard, that they would really be more proactive with it to do something. But we all know, and a whole lot of them, I'm not gonna say, let me not even put that doubt, cast that doubt out there, because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe these people are rushing up there to get all of this stuff to come back down to earth to make everybody well off and live a much better quality of life. Maybe
100,
one could dream.
Hey,
but practically, we know
they will have.
They ain't invite anybody else on that spaceship for a reason. They didn't make it the mothership.
It's not like
it's a spaceship, and nobody knows who else is going. So somebody going, and they're gonna do their own thing. Is what they're going for.
I gotta holler at Elon though.
Yeah,
look, bro.
You do that on your own time.
We gotta get that goal, man.
Anyway, so. Last but not least, what is last on our list? Oh,
HP.
House Bill. Welcome to Florida, y'all. Let me just say one thing. Welcome to Florida. Okay. So for the rest of the world that may be watching from other parts of the world, and you may not know what's going on down here in the little microcosm of Florida, it's a lot going on. This new guy that we have, they call him governor. But he's a new guy, and he is like he's everywhere, y'all. He's doing it everywhere, everything. And quite frankly, the newest movement on this House Bill 999, we all know what that inflection is. Put a mirror under it. But anyway, we know what he's doing. So with his new movement, they have evidently approved this bill, and now there are standards that they've put in place here in Florida that make it how do I want to say this? That puts it puts the language set that slavery was a benefit for some people
To whom?
who encountered it, and that that is what has to be printed in textbooks now. So, if you didn't know what House Bill 999 is about, go ahead and look it up. There are a few other states that are looking at it also. I don't think Texas is one, but for Florida, it pretty much regulates education, the financial funding of educational programs or courses, or any coursework that would have anything to do with equality, diversity, and inclusion. So anything that has anything, and even I know they put CRT in there too for y'all, the race theory. So y'all go look it up, do a little research. If you don't know, now you know. So, but yes, this is very big. Only, uh, I don't know, like, let's, I, the words almost like I can't. I'm trying to bring it in and make sure that I say what I'd like to so that we stay on air. But um this is crazy. This is crazy. This is absolute craziness. It's crazy that history is being rewritten right in front of our eyes. It's crazy that there are people who have family members who have lived through very um truthful situations, not fiction, but fact. Um, and it's crazy to think that there would be somebody that could come and dismiss those truths just by saying so with the wave of a wand. Just, nah, didn't happen. Didn't happen that way, as a matter of fact. Here's another perspective. Let me give you this way to look at it. So, and it's not an option. This is how it has been mandated. It's been voted on, and the education board has passed that this is a standard for new printed books and educational material curriculum that will be taught in Florida. So no more telling the truth about slavery. Now slavery benefited the people that were here because, I quote, they were able to learn skills, I think is what it said. One moment. Let me pull that back up.
Yeah,
Able to learn skills that benefited them. Skills that benefited them, y'all. We were already agricultural people. So these skills that benefited us, I think we bought skills that benefited them.
Yeah, we brought this
but
with us.
What is really going on?
We always have the skills.
I mean,
us. I think it's a miseducation on his part. For that is part of the people that come up with these things and stuff. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
because people always trying to put themselves in a position where they don't want to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't want to, because like when the truth hurts, regardless of how it's told. So a lot of people just cannot. You know what I mean? They cannot take the truth.
What I think I've realized since this new governor has gotten here is that what I assumed, and this is why you should never assume, because when you assume, you make an assume of yourself. Okay, so don't assume. But I assumed that certain laws and certain, standards and codes, and I assumed that certain things in litigation were in place. And it was almost like, okay, when things happen, things can always be overturned or amended or whatnot.
Yes.
But you have like this feeling of security, right? Or stability with a law, or but what I've seen is that this man has come in, he's overturned almost like every law. He's changed laws to benefit himself. And it's like, is this really happening? Like, this is really happening, y'all. Like, right in front of our faces. Like, He's come in and he's changed law so that you used to not be able to I guess be the governor and run for president at the same time. He changed that law so he could. He's also come in and like redistrict a whole bunch of land here in Florida to kind of compartmentalize the red and blue sides. And I'm not political in any place, like any place of the nation, state, or form. I am not political. This is not a political station. If that's what you're looking for, you got to go somewhere else. I'm sorry. Don't I don't participate in that at all. Those games I don't do. But in this particular case, y'all, I mean, what are what are we doing here? Like, I mean, is anybody awake? Hello? Is this thing on? Is anybody out there? Because this just seems asinine.
I mean, we just here in Florida that people gotta stand up. And
I don't even know if people know that this is going on in other places. Like, this was an issue. First, it was an issue a few months ago when they proposed this House bill about being able to shut down anything that had to do with inclusivity for especially African American studies. So now we come back, we fast forward, and it's like, okay, you can't talk about this theory. You can't talk about this being racial or that. You can't talk about slavery. Matter of fact, if you do, you have to say that it benefited black people, and you have to say that black people fought back. That was another stipulation. You have to say that there were also.
I mean, do they know what fought back is?
They
Haiti
said
fought back.
They said that they have to say that there were also people that that were violent on the other side. That's what they have to say. So yes, slavery people were doing this, but the slaves were actually, they were the violent ones. We have to talk about how violent they were.
Defending themselves, some of them, from being
defense is not violence. I'm sorry. That is not violence.
Raped,
that is not violence.
It's just that, like, I feel like DeSantis is a coward. I don't give a damn. I mean, it is.
This is a family show.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is what it is. But I mean, he's just stupid, you know. I mean, things that he learned, so those things that he learns in school, they hurt him still. As a grown man, he still cannot take those lessons, the truth that he learned from history classes.
Evidently not. So if this is what he's out here doing, and he has to make his own history, so that's what's going on here, y'all. They're trying to peel back the pages of time and pretty much make it. Oh, so let me read a little blurb here while I'm here, though. So Florida's history standards claim slavery included benefit to Black Americans. Okay. Afterward, let's see. Ron DeSantis called his remarks. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on. That's looks like Vice President Kamala Harris. Shout out Soror, aka. Sorry. Take that away. I don't think that's not mandated. That is not mandated at all. I was just playing. Also known as. Okay. So anyway, but yes, shout out to Kamala. Or Miss Harris, I'm sorry, Vice President Harris. Let me address her by her title. Vice President Harris, appreciate you and the work you're doing out here. She came down to Jacksonville. She came down to Florida to make a visit, to just put a lid or blow the lid off of this preposterousy. So, anywho, let's see. I'm sorry, guys. One moment. This is all commentary. Okay, I don't know where I was. There's another article I have. The NAACP. Anyway, well, you can keep talking to me while I'm looking. So there's no dead air here.
No, I thought you were going to say something. So, I mean, about the article.
I'm looking. You carry on.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just okay. Like, what about the people that reading these books, these new history books and stuff like that? I mean, what qualifications that they have to give? You know what I mean? To just say, well, this the new book, this the new history, da da da. You know what I mean? Like, or you were you born like between the 1500s, like, you know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So acts of violence against and by African Americans are also mentioned in lesson plans included in the new changes. These changes come after the Florida legislature passed DeSantis' Stop Woke law, described as an act that creates protection for students and workers. Sorry, y'all, my screen cracked. Allowing them to not feel discrimination based on race, color, sex, or national origin. So, in short, they're saying that this whole Stop Woke Act and this whole let's change the history and let's make slavery beneficial um, comes as an attempt to pretty much make it so that nobody feels discriminated against or nobody feels bad, is what he said. He doesn't want anybody to feel bad about their history or heritage. So he doesn't want people who had anything to do with slavery. He doesn't want them to feel bad, or he doesn't want anybody on either side, whether you were the oppressor or being oppressed. He doesn't want anybody to feel bad. So that's the reasoning for changing our entire school curriculum and not exposing all races, ages, and ethnicities to the truth of what has gone on here and is still in lots of ways going on today. Because if this is possible, the fact that this is even possible for him to do shows that this is still going on today. He shouldn't even be allowed to do this. Like this, I mean, stuff just keeps happening. I'm like, he can do that? Wait a minute, he can do that? Wait, he can do that? Like, where does it stop? Like, what can't he do? Because it's like, this is just preposterous. Preposterous. So there was we were listening to something earlier. There was something we were listening to, and it was pertaining to this newly passed law and legislation here in Florida. And what the young lady mentioned was, I guess there was a reference that they made to Rosa Parks. And in one of the books, in the first edition, it had to be rewritten, right? So in the first edition, it said Rosa Parks had to give her seat up for a white person or white lady. Then in the second edition, it said that Rosa Parks had to give her seat up for a person, I believe it was. And don't quote me on this directly, but this is pretty much the lineage or the line of thinking that was flowing from this, the new updates from the book. Then the third edition, it just said Rosa Parks had to get out of her seat. Didn't tell you why. Didn't tell you who made her get up. She just got to get up. So maybe now we can kind of reason and say, well, maybe Rosa Parks was doing something wrong, right? What was she doing that, she didn't, whatever, she had to be combative, and now that's why she got arrested, because she didn't get up. Not because there was someone else that looked like her in another color and complexion that she didn't move for, but it's just these simple oversights, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just these simple oversights. We know they're on purpose. We know it, but it's like, how much is enough? Like this is over the top, and this is just too much. This is very much too much. I mean, we know they changed the history. We know that. But I mean, I think just because it's happening in such a very bold way, like it's almost like, yeah, no, we know it happened, but we're going to change the whole book. We don't really care what you say or what you think. It's like, it's not just us that knows that this happened. Like everybody knows this happened. This is a very widely known, accepted, thing that happened in America, where everybody knows about the Civil War, what happened in the Civil War. And now we're going to have to change that too. Like, I mean, there's just things going on that they don't support other things. They don't support facts. They don't support truth. And it's like they're just building bridges from one fallacy to another. Like it's the craziest thing, y'all. Like,
I mean, they've been doing that for history.
They have, but I think now people are more aware and awake. Like, it's just kind of like, to be quite honest, I don't think any of us really thought that this bill was going to get passed. I didn't. But now looking strategically, I think a lot of his friends sit on the Board of Education. I'm sure he probably helped them get in there or whatnot. I don't know how that works. But anyway, he got some friends somewhere because they all decided unanimously to vote that slavery was a benefit because slaves learned skills. They learned skills, y'all.
From whom?
They learned skills.
From whom they learned those skills?
What skills were these?
Yeah.
Please,
whom?
I'm curious to know what skills.
The first question.
How to run faster? I mean, I don't. What skills were
the
these?
first question they should have asked them: from whom? Who was teaching them those skills? Because they didn't have no skills at all. We've been teaching them everything that they know. If they had those skills, why didn't they need somebody to do the job for them? Like, teach your kids those skills. Teach your cousins. It's because y'all had no skills. That's why they had to force somebody else to build your chair, to build your house, to build your stuff, because you have no skills. Skills is not part of your earthly thing. You know what I mean? I mean, it's what it is. So, I mean, I feel like he just mad, like still mad that they can't build nothing.
I mean, I think that's not true. I think people can build anything they want to.
Everything,
but it's what you're building, and it's the substance of what you're building. Everybody, not every white person or whatever person is bad. Not every black person is a criminal. Like, we got to get out of these stigmas and start looking at people as people. Like, what's really going on here? People that can see through this, wonderful, because there are a lot that can, and there are a lot that can. Then we have people that are like governor here, Gov, and it's like they just don't care for the truth. It's like they're gonna make reality what they want to make it, which is cool. You do your own, as long as you're not hurting, killing, memeing anybody else or infringing on their personal space and time. I feel like that's fine. But now what you're doing is you're impressing your will on everybody else. And it's like, I mean, we know they do this. We always know there are people that take the fall for that, and they're going to spiritually take the fall for that on the back end. But people take the fall for misleading. People take the fall for not being truthful or not being honest.
Europe, they don't, I think, like, how they do it, like over there, you see how, like, over here, they have white folks. They say they're white people and stuff like that. I don't think in Europe that's how they call them. Because the Russians say they're not, you know what I mean? They're just washing. You know what I mean? And some Portuguese might say they're just Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? And then I think the color thing, except, for like being, that over here in the Americas, like they push that like to the extreme.
That is a tool of separation here in America. Yes, colorism, definitely. You can go to any other, probably, well, maybe not any other, but yeah, I think you can probably go to just about any other country and find out that people are just people there. So are there differences? Sure. I'm not saying you can go to China and blend in. No. As a black person, no. But what I'm saying is,
you're a person.
People are people in other places, and they realize that it's not just like I mean, I think was it Lupita? She made this reference one time about Africans, and she was like, we don't look at Africans as like, oh, this African, lighter, darker, whatever. She's like, Africans are Africans. This one may be from Kenya, so this one may be Kenyan. This one may be Nigerian. She's like, but we don't do that. Like, we're all people. Like, that's an interesting concept, because even in other European nations, same thing, Slavic nations, the people are of wherever. They may be Croatian, they may be Russian, they may be Ukrainian, they may be whatever they are, but they're not just white or black. Like, that's a very, very American thing. So, like, that's very, very United States. And that is a tool that has been used, been propagated since slavery. That was the whole purpose. Oh, well, we can treat people bad because they are this color. Forget they breathe like us. They got 2 nostrils, arms, legs, head. Forget all that. They are sun-kissed.
They cook my food. They build my house. They do all that, but they're not human. I mean, I
don't even get that ideology. Like, but somebody, I mean, I guess it makes sense somewhere. You know what I mean? Again, this is Conscious Life, so I'm not here to diss anybody else. But what I say is I don't understand that concept. If you have more information on that concept, please do share. I'm interested in learning. Not necessarily that I would agree, but I just I just don't understand how not being truthful about racism, especially here in the South. Like, how is that going to? Well, I know what it is. I know what he's trying to do. He's talking to a specific group of people that he's trying to affect, and influence with what it is that they have going on with their little agenda or whatnot. But for the rest of us that's out here really living and really like listening and watching, and for us to have kids going to school that this is going to affect, like, one thing, so I guess really one thing too is I didn't think that it was that big of a deal at first, also because I feel like it's the responsibility of us as people to teach at home first anyway. So there are certain things your child need to be learning at home anyway. They should learn it at home first, and then it could be confirmed or refuted everywhere else in the world, wherever. But at home, the base, there's certain things that you have to, certain information you have to disperse to your children. So sending them out there like, blind and not knowing like this is, oh, this whatever the textbook says is your only option and that's the truth. That's, we can't, I mean, I don't know. I guess in standardly in households that look like mine, we don't do that anyway. So it's just more so like, okay, of course you go, you learn. If you have questions, let me know. You know what I mean? Like, there are things that, just by being exposed to the culture, like you go sit in class and they might say this happened in the book, but Thurgood Marshall, or some other Frederick Douglass, like, and because again in the Black community we learn about these things. It's not like, and I'll say that's a change too. This upcoming generation, they don't know nothing. Y'all, what are we doing out here? Y'all got to teach your kids some stuff. They have to know some of these people. They have to know some of the people that laid these foundations for us and why they laid the foundation, because a lot of it is in between the lines. Is really being smarter than the average at that time and being able to take advantage of. So, I mean, that's the name of the game in every generation. So, like, we have to keep this progress, keep people in aware and in the loop of like what's really relevant to the community. Like, and I mean, again, teaching should come from home first, but I think another thing with that is a lot of people aren't educating themselves, so they don't know to pass it down, or they're not concerned because TikTok is here. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot of distractions. It's a lot going on out here, but we have to be more aware, guys. I know I keep saying that, but like we have to, like, we just have to be more aware. We have to be more involved. We have to be more present. Like, things are happening right here, right now. And I mean, I don't think I would have ever dreamed of a day that I would see where the idea of racism, not it doesn't exist. Now, us as adults, we all know that that's not true. But it's like, and then this Stop Woke Act. I mean, like, the name itself suggests, and again, we have a video that we shot a few months ago that will be posting here very shortly. It's cutting everything. We just need to post it. We were waiting on a response, but I think we're just going to go ahead and put it on out there. I think we got everything we need now. So, but it's just the woke. The name itself suggests that there is no passing of information. You're trying to stop a transfer of information and awareness. So if that ain't a spell within itself, like, you know what I mean? Just stop woke act. Them just saying that constantly over and over. Like, I don't really think that that's going to get people to stop waking up, to be quite honest. I think that, good attempt, but I don't think that's going to work. I think we're too far gone from that. And I think that with these brazen like moves as far as doing these things, just as fast as he's getting them done, I hope we can undo them just as quickly, because it just seems like he's jumped in the hot seat and hit the gas pedal, and there's like no letting up. Like, he's changing this, he's doing that, he's everywhere doing everything at all times. And these are things, I think, a lot of things may not affect you directly, but may do indirectly. But these are things that are going to affect us directly here. Like, these are for people that look like us. These are going to affect us directly, and people that don't. People that care about the truth, that are sending their kids to school. You know what I mean? That may not look like us. This is going to affect them also. Your kids are not going to be exposed to true material. They're not going to be able to. What it's going to make is a whole bunch of little bullies,
and if
a whole
you
bunch of little mean kids.
and I mean over here in America, like in the U.S., United States, like as far as the country, like I mean the whole United States, people they don't value education. Like they don't value education. Like
Probably because it's free.
like think of it over here. I don't know, like if it's the noon time, but I think okay, say our times, right? When we was in first grade, like we really like had to know stuff. Really have to know stuff. Like over here, a first grader don't need to know nothing. A second grader don't need to know nothing. They're just giving these kids grades.
I mean,
to be honest, they are just giving.
It's definitely a lot of. It's definitely a lot of teachers just giving out grades. I definitely
because
co-sign
this
on
is the
that.
thing they're doing over here. I think it's so soft nowadays. I don't know. Maybe they're doing it in other countries too. I don't know. But over here, they do that. They don't want nobody to lose. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Participation.
Failures will make you learn when you fail.
Mm-hmm. True.
If you're not failing, how you gonna go through life? In the classroom, if you a little kid, all you seen is A and B's and yellow, no, you know what I'm saying, like good job, even when you don't do a good job, how you gonna know when you get older that you're really doing a good job? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people gonna find out they have like not been doing a good job.
When I was 5 years old, I was getting whooped by my teachers.
Yeah, see, they're not allowed to do that in the States.
You know
what I'm saying? They could.
So, like,
well, no, it depends on the teacher because all these teachers ain't about the love.
I mean,
it's probably a great thing.
First grade, like I have to do my own stuff. Like I have to really know. I mean, your parents help you, the teachers and stuff like that, they help you, but you have to know stuff. Like, because when I was in first grade, our exam was orally, basically, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So teacher will ask you stuff, and then to see where your level, can you go to the next level? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you write? Can you do stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like they test you and all this stuff.
We get tested too.
I mean,
in
no,
first
like
and second grade
no,
and stuff,
but not. I mean, but they don't grade the kids though. That's what I'm saying. They don't grade the kids.
They do, but I mean, I don't know if it's as truthfully or honestly as they should.
They don't grade the kids how they're supposed to.
So that's a possibility. And then you have teachers that do. So again, you can't make a blanket statement about any of it, but I'm gonna just say what's going on here is strange, y'all. It's strange that this would be what we're forced to do right now.
Remember, we have a video we talk about that. How the education system over here is so low compared to a lot of other countries.
Yes,
that's not even rich countries.
Yes. For this to be one of the wealthiest countries in the world, we have one of the lowest literacy rates.
I mean, that just tells you.
And one of the highest obesity rates.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is, But I mean, we just gotta stay conscious out here, be more conscious, be more aware, I mean, the only way we can, if society need to be saved, and we need to preserve our history, we need to be aware, like, because once we letting people, dictate where to teach our history and when to teach it, how to teach it, we shouldn't have them writing our history no more. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Easier said than done, but absolutely, of course.
So
seems like rocket science, y'all, but I know we got some work to do because this just, I mean, it almost seems like we're watching a movie unfold, like right in front of our eyes. Like it's just some of the stuff that's going on. Like, I mean, I can't even believe they named it the Stop Woke Act. Stop Woke Act? Like, that's the real name of the act. Stop Woke Act. You're trying to stop people from waking up, literally, and then to follow that up with, now we're going to alter the history books. Now, you can't say that racism happened here. You can't say that. What you have to say instead is if the slave owners were violent, then so were the slaves. They were violent too. What you have to say is, instead of white person made this person get up out of her seat because she was black in a different color, she just had to, she was told to move. It's a mysterious voice
from the
told
sky.
her to move. Like, I mean,
For
this
no
is just
reason,
getting more
just
and more
move.
ridiculous, y'all. Like, I mean, obviously the only thing it's going to do is change the minds of the future. That's all it's intended to do, of the future generations coming after us, to give them some kind of perspective or personality deficit is what it's going to give them, because they're not going to have the full deck to play with. So they're going to be out here acting crazy anyway, just like him, because it seems like maybe that's what happened. Maybe he was missing a few pages out of his book. Graduated from Dunedin High School. Yeah, right around areas, y'all. Right around Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay. So,
hey,
Country Network, look.
All these guys, they there, to fulfill an agenda. Somebody paying them some money. Come out here, talk trash, pass laws, do laws.
He getting his benefit too. But so, again, my point is the fact that this is even something to do tells you this is not, we are not, again, this is not a war between physical entities. There's something much more prevalent behind the scenes. There's a spiritual nature that's moving, and to want to do these things. I mean, like, because what's the purpose?
And we're failing over here. Like the other countries, they see the failures.
Other than spiritual.
Nowadays, like the things that happen in here, a lot of things that happen in here, man. Like every country is like, say, outside the West. I mean, even countries in the West want to just stay away from it. You know what I mean? The country, like, they don't want to deal with the politics or the business.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about like new currencies coming along, shutting down the dollar. Yep. We know that the dollar has been failing forever.
Yeah, so, they're trying to,
I mean, every good empire comes to an end at some point. It's time. Babylon must fall. I'm ready. Thank you, Babylon. Take a bow. You may exit scene left. Okay? So why don't we go ahead and end it there?
Yes.
I think that's been enough for tonight. Anything else that we missed, we'll get to on our next live. Again, we're going to try to go live a little more often, y'all, but it's difficult. But I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's easy. It's real easy. It's easy like to do things.
Flowing to the stream.
But we've been a lot more active these days. Got some workshops coming up. So if you'd like to tune in, if you'd like to be a part, definitely. We'll be providing information on how to do that here soon. Otherwise, y'all, stay woke.
And we have merch coming up, all right? We have merch coming up. Visit the website.
Definitely. Take a look at the website. Get your shirt, get your hoodie.
And check us out on Teespring too. So we there. So
absolutely.
To be honest. So we got Chindas there too. We got On Hands. So if you need some On Hands, let us know. And we'll mail it right to your home.
All righty. All right, y'all. Well, y'all take it easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And until we see you next go round, y'all be safe, health, wealth, life, and love. All right, y'all. Next time.
Stay conscious.
Laters.